Hare Krishna. We are doing now Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 34. Indriyasyendriyasyarte ragadveshau vyavastitau tayornavasham agachet tau hyasya paripantinau. Translation, chapter 3, verse 34. There are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. See what Krishna is telling here. According to this translation, you can clearly understand that we have to regulate our attachment also and aversion also pertaining to senses and sense objects. We can remember Chanakya Pandita saying, Matravat paradhareshu. Anybody else's wife, we should see them as our mother. Means, for a man, other than his wife, all the other women in the world are his mothers. So this is how he is supposed to see. Not just that, he says about others' wealth. If somebody's gold thing or if somebody's wallet is fallen down, how should we see it? Not that, oh, he is not there, now it's mine, nobody is seeing. Not like that. But he says, Chanakya Pandita says, if others' wealth is available, we should look at it as a lump of dirt. So, in the garbage bin, so much stinking dirt is available. Do we go and see it? Let me just take a little bit. No, we don't, right? Same like that, others' wealth, we should treat it as dirt for us. It's not ours. Same way, others' wife is our mother. This is our character. So we have to have aversion, because there are some great devotees who have written in their prayers in the form of songs, saying that when I think of sex life, I spit at the thought. So that clearly means that even for saintly devotees, the thought of sex does pass, okay? It does pass, but they spit at the thought, okay? They don't do anything about it. Once, Prabhupada, what happened? A very interesting thing, Prabhupada was teaching probably this verse or some verse, he was telling that in one of the chapters, second chapter, there's a verse saying that, like the rivers that keep joining the sea, like that, even in the mind, the thoughts keep moving, they keep moving. But, we should not do anything. So, Prabhupada, what he was telling, he was having all his disciples, Western disciples seated, and one newly married, young, beautiful girl, she comes to Prabhupada's class a little late. So when she is entering into the class, and Prabhupada looks at her and says, look at her, how beautiful she is. And all the brahmachari disciples and others, all men are seated in front of him, saying, look at her, how beautiful she is. What do you feel when you look at her? Prabhupada is asking, what do you feel when you look at her? How beautiful she is. Then Prabhupada's disciples didn't know what to answer. They just put their heads down. And this Mataji, she was so shy. When Prabhupada is talking like this, she was turning pink, she was blushing. And then, she comes and sits. Then Prabhupada, after a pause, he says, whatever you feel, don't do anything about it. Which means the thoughts can come, but we should not act upon it, and that too, the highest standard is that if any wrong thought comes related to sex, then, we should be having some aversion for it, especially if it is for other people's wives or for any other lady except our own wife. Now, what about our own wife? In our own wife also, it's like, if there is a nice royal road, can you and me assure that there won't be accidents there? No, we can't assure. Even in a good road, we can't assure that there won't be an accident. Just like that, even with our attachment to our spouse, there can be problems sometime. Then what is that is completely problem free is our attachment to Krishna. If we are fully attached to Krishna, then we can live with anyone and nothing is going to happen. Just like Haridas Thakur was sitting with the prostitute and chanting, nothing happened because his attachment to Krishna is very strong. So even if she was sitting there trying her best to provoke him, nothing happened. In fact, she only changed. She became a sannyasin. The prostitute changed into a devotee of Krishna, a wonderful devotee of Krishna. So like that, if our attachment is to Krishna, and to his Krishna Katha, and to hear Bhagavad Gita, then if our attachment to that is very strong, then even in our family attachments or in the society, we are not getting into wrong trap, or within our moral codes of conduct also, within our area of freedom also, we are not going to meet with any spiritual accident. What I mean by a spiritual accident is spiritual fall down. It's not going to happen if we are strongly practicing the life of Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much.